Through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
This is Atlantic Television Network Global News. First, the headlines. Fubara Commission's Navy Training Headquarters. Gombe suspends monthly sanitation over LG pool. Workers trapped as building collapses in Kano. Tinubu appoints OVA as NEL Fund Chairman. China denies involvement in spy cases. Veteran Yoruba actor Ogunjimi is dead. Ateta wants Arsenal to raise the bar. River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has commissioned a new facility that will serve as the Navy Training Command headquarters in River State. The facility is located in a Bibu community in Elemi local government area of the state. The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogada, has just commissioned the auditorium at the Training Command headquarters named after Rear Admiral M.A.B. Elebede, a foremost indigenous top Navy personnel. The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogada, commissions the auditorium at the Training Command headquarters named after Rear Admiral M.A.B. Elebede, a foremost indigenous top Navy personnel. The headquarters of the Training Command was recently relocated from Lagos State, southwest Nigeria, to its new location in River State, south of the country. The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, announced the relocation during a courtesy visit to the Government House on Thursday. Federal High Court in Port Harcourt is adjourned to May 3, 2024 for the hearing of a suit filed by some civil society organizations in River State against 27 members of the State Assembly led by Martins Amehuli. Other respondents in the suits are Governor Siminalayi Fubara, the People's Democratic Party, and the Attorney General of River State. The CSOs are seeking clarification on whether lawmakers in the River State House of Assembly who defected from a PDP to the All Progressive Congress retained their legal status as representatives of their constituencies under Section 109 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Those are also asking the court to prevent Fubara from presenting the 2024 budget to the Amehule-led lawmakers who allegedly vacated their seats by defecting from the PDP to APC. During the hearing on Friday, the clerk of the court informed the parties that Justice Stephen Doliopam was unavailable, prompting the adjournment to a new date for the hearing. Community in Ahuda East local government area of the state in September 2023. When the matter came up in court on Friday, the Director of Public Prosecution, C.F. Amadi, charged against him. Justice James Omotosho fixed a date after Osobeni Oponimesaga, the independent Joe Agi, adopted their processes and presented the arguments for and against the motion. Indifferent and his co-defendant, Sonny Ayahu, had alleged that Oponimesaga was not qualified to practice as a lawyer. The duo, through the lawyer Joe Agi, insisted that Oponimesagan's name was allegedly not on the roll of legal practitioners in Nigeria pursuant to Section 2 of the Legal Practitioners Act. That said, the development has robbed the court of its jurisdiction to entertain the matter. They therefore prayed the court to quash the charge against them. Governor of Enugu State, Dr. Peter Mba, has inaugurated the newly constituted chairman and members of the Enugu State Independent Electoral Commission, sequel to the provisions of the Section 4, subsection 1 of the ENSIEC law charging them on free, fair, and credible polls. New ENSIEC leadership, which had earlier been confirmed by the Enugu State House of Assembly, has Professor Christian Ungu as chairman and Solomon Ude, Chineyenwa Ogu, George Ani, Otho Ede, Pauli Eze, and the Meccan Agency has temporarily shut down churches, hotels, bars, and other establishments in several areas of the state over alleged noise pollution. The affected areas include Ifako Ijaye, Abasen Estate, Abuleba, Alabado Command, and Depemu Tokumbo Wahab. The State Commissioner of the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources posted these on the church, 1602 Hotel, 7th Heaven Bar and Lounge, Loretta Hotel and Suites, God's Pouch Ministries, Wonderful Bible Prayer Ministries, White Pavilion Hotels, Guest Hotels and Suites. The statement said the establishments were temporarily closed to compel compliance with the environmental regulations. Few days after hosting a national dialogue on policing, the House of Representatives is to hold a two-day retreat on economic transformation and development to strengthen the capacity of members on economic development and tax reform. Spokesperson of the House, Akin Rotimi, APC Ekiti, said the retreat is expected to be declared open by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Tuesday. April 30th would hold at the Abuja Continental Hotel, formerly Abuja Sheraton. Rotimi said the theme of the retreat, which is organized in collaboration with Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Federal Inland Revenue Service, and Conrad Adenua Stiftung, will be navigating change, legislative strategies for economic transformation. He said the initiative is to collaborate with legislative support institutions and partner to sustain capacity development programs for members. Stakeholders expected that the two-day retreat include in the state. Olatunbosu, who gave the assurance in Ado Ekiti, urged interested individuals and corporate organizations not to fan the embers of hatred and strive for both support the efforts of the state government to make life more meaningful for all stakeholders in the state, particularly with PWDs. Olatunbosu recalled that in January this year, the state government launched a free healthcare program that allows people with disabilities access to healthcare services at no cost in the state. He said that the healthcare program organized by the Office of persons lost their lives in a road accident that occurred along the Okumba-Ikare Road in Akoko Southwest local government area of Ondo State on Friday. It was gathered that the crash involved a Toyota Camry car and two commercial buses. According to an eyewitness, the driver of the car suddenly opened the door and hit the motorcycle which carried the victims, and they fell down on the road, while other vehicles coming on the other side ran over them. The victims were arrested, said to have died on the spot. The victims were said to have died on the spot, and the driver of the car immediately fled the scene for fear of being hanged, while youths in the area set the car ablaze. The Ondo Sector Commander of the Road Safety Commission, Ezekiel Son Allah, confirmed the accident, adding that it was caused by wrongful overtaking and route violation on the part of the vehicles involved. While cautioning motorists to avoid violating traffic rules, the FRCS boss opined that speed breakers should be mounted on the road to forestall recurrent crashes on the road. Ebonyi State Independent Electoral Commission has fixed July 20th, 2024 for the conduct of local government elections. Chairman of EBSIEC, Joy C. Eze, said that the elections are for the 13 local government areas and 171 political wards in the state. It stated this during a meeting with chairman and secretaries of the different political parties and heads of security agencies at the Commission's headquarters in Abakaliki, the state capital. He explained that the political parties should actively participate in the exercise by coming to the Commission to pick the nomination forms. We gathered that the tenure of the EBSIEC chairman will lapse on July 31st, 2024. 44-year-old man Oluchukwu John on Friday appeared before an Abakaliki Magistrate Court 6 in Ebonyi State over alleged stealing and threatening the life of one David Okorie Obana. The defendant, who pleaded not guilty, is standing trial on a 4-count charge of
governor who is able to provide some of this. Anytime you see the police, the army, any of these security forces, you find out that the governors are the ones doing the work. Then what is the federal government doing with the money? What are they doing with all these security votes and all that? Are you getting what I'm saying? So someone is not working. Except the governors, you can't have them with good uniform. You can't have them properly equipped. Call it police. Thank God for the governor who is able to provide some of this.
Recall that the Ebonyi State government recently distributed 10 hillocks to the Nigerian Army and to the Nigerian Police for joint security operations across the state.
Office. If we can begin to check some of these things in Nigeria, I'm in charge of security. In Imo State, they need this. You send it to the police, you send it to the army, they'll be ready. But you find out even the young men that are employed into these departments are even afraid of doing the job because they feel they're not properly equipped. So risking their life becomes...
Governor appears under the aegis of Guardians in Democracy and Rule of Law on Friday urged the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to follow due process in its bid to prosecute immediate past governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. Bello is facing a 19-count charge bordering on his alleged complicity in money laundering, breach of trust and misappropriation of funds to the tune of about 80.2 billion naira. Trial Justice Emeka Wite of the Federal High Court in Abuja had fixed May 10th to rule on application the former governor filed to challenge a warrant of arrest the EFCC obtained against him. Meanwhile, in a statement they made available to newsmen on Friday, the legal practitioners decried what they termed as media trial of the defendant by the Anti-Graft Agency. They equally faulted the ex parte order of arrest, which described as premature, noting that it was issued.
And register your people in the village. That your village meeting, that they go there to gossip and quarrel. Tell them to be busy by making it a cooperative. You call it like my own village is Umudioka village, and I will call it Umudioka Unity. So when we are giving them anything, we'll give it to them. The fish grilling machine we're giving, it grills 6,000 fish a day. It can be more than enough for those that are interested in fish in that community. Each and every one of them will grill their fish, and they will probably let us know through the coordinators that these things are available. It will be...
Of the Saturday's local government council polls, Hayatu Usman, the state's commissioner of police, stated this in an interview with newsmen in Gombe on Friday. He said that adequate personnel had been deployed to all 11 local government areas of the state to ensure that the election was hitch-free. He urged residents to participate massively in the election as they had nothing to worry about as policemen had been deployed to give them the needed security. Usman urged residents to be law-abiding and cooperate with security agencies and also advised all political parties to abide by the rules and guidelines for the election. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arraigned 2 Chinese High Court in Ilorin over alleged illegal activities in Kwara State. They are arraigned on a one-count charge which bordered on possessing solid minerals without a license and failing to pay royalties to the federal government as expected. EFCC made the development known on Friday in a post on its X handle, saying the arraignment was made on Friday, April 22nd. At least 85 terrorists were killed in another series of clash between the Islamic State of the West African province and Boko Haram in Borno State. In a post on his X handle on Friday, Zagazola Makama, a counter-insurgency expert and security analyst in Lake Chad, said the non-stop intensified clashes of supremacy had happened between April 24th and 25th, 2024. Makoma added that the development has led to the dislodgement of the Boko Haram rival faction from several islands previously seized from the ISWAP groups. Katsina State Police Command has arrested 16 suspects in connection with raping, culpable homicide, kidnapping for ransom, motorcycle and phone snatching, as well as armed robbery, among the major crimes in the state. The suspects caught across 6 syndicates were paraded by the command spokesman Abubakar Sadiq at the command headquarters on security issues within the country where the issues are affecting the people. He emphasized that the meeting were part of efforts to find a lasting solution to Nigerian security challenges through international collaborations. Rather further clarified that sharing experiences and ideas on a global scale is crucial in today's interconnected world. Nigerian Corrections Service has confirmed the adoption of Assistant Controller Abdularam Ibrahim Gelele in Niger State offices in Jos. He noted that the agency's mission was to protect and promote the public's health by instituting an effective and efficient regulatory system that will ensure only the right quality food, drugs and other regulated products were manufactured, exported, imported, advertised, distributed, sold, and used. An unspecified number of workers on Friday trod beneath. The wedding was between Sanusi Aminu Bayero Khalifa and Ramana Nasiru Bayero Umi, according to a statement by the Special Advisor, Media and Publicity to the Deputy Senate, Ismail Madassar, in Abuja. Deputy Governor of Kano State, Comrade Aminu Abdul Salam and Dan Iyan Kanu, Alhaji Ahmed Ado Bayero stood as representatives of the groom and the bride, respectively. Ababi and Honorable Abbas congratulated the emirs and wished the newlywed couple marital bliss. On his part, the Deputy President of the Senate described the wedding as historic. In their separate responses, the emirs of Kano and Bauchi thanked the leadership of the National Assembly and others for gracing. Welcome back. This is the Global News in Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of the stories. President Bola Tinubu has appointed renowned banker and businessman Jim Ovia as the chairman of the board of Nigerian Educational Loan Fund. The appointment was disclosed in a statement released by the special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuru Ngalale, on Friday. Ngalale noted that the President believes Ovia would bring his immense wealth of experience and professional stature to his role to advance the all-important vision of ensuring that no Nigerian student suffers a capricious end to their pursuit of higher education. Over Education and National Orientation, Alhaji Mohammed Idris has condoled the family of the late journalist, prolific writer and politician Sadi Ali. Idris, in a statement on Friday in Abuja, said it was with profound sadness that he received the news of the passing of Ali. According to the minister, Ali's contribution to the field of journalism, literature and politics have left an indelible mark on a country. He added that his demise will be deeply felt by all who had the privilege of knowing him. His eloquent writing style captivated audiences and earned him widespread acclaim. Over the years, strategically engaged influential stakeholders, including members of the National Peace Committee and other relevant institutions, to advocate for overall peace and stability.
Not a Nigerian, true Nigerian, if the dictates of the belief of another religion offends their sensibilities. Where did he make this? God made it so. In varieties lies the spice of life. Complaining about our differences, how we are different in the language we speak, different in the outfit that we wear. Recently, I heard of people complaining that an airline used a traditional outfit. They would have been silent if we used the British outfit. We shouldn't be uncomfortable with each other. If we believe in integration, it calls for accommodation, of tolerance. As citizens, we too have significant responsibilities. We must embrace our diverse identities, which are given not by choice, but by divine providence. Like I said, it is essential to respect these identities, recognizing that national integration does not mean erasing our differences, but celebrating them while finding common ground for a stronger, united nation.
Yourself, in the final analysis, we all accept that God didn't make a mistake by bringing us here. National cohesion is important because without it is impossible for us to grow. Now we can.
However, Anup Bias, head of Conflict, Stability and Security Fund Nigeria for the Foreign Commonwealth Development Office, said the conference aims to bring unity, progress and prosperity.
National integration, for me, is more than an ideal. It's an ingredient for progress and prosperity. Given Nigeria's diverse population, various ethnicities, religions and cultures across 36 states, fostering unity and purpose can help unlock Nigeria's vast economic potential and generate inclusive growth for all. The federal character principles of the 1991 Constitution matter, as do the attempts to operationalise them through, for example, the Federal Character Commission. The principles are grounded in the need to balance the polity and providing equality of access in representation. Today, I hope to hear your ideas on how this can be achieved in a way that balances representation and efficiency so that they are mutually reinforcing. For me, integration feels like a dynamic process. It is not an end state. The institutions and systems we build to support integration offer important protection. They are the scaffolding that help us deliver justice, the protection of rights and the rule of law.
Federal government has vowed to deepen efforts to tackle climate change and its attendant effect to accelerate sustainable development. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development Festus Kayamo gave the assurance at the closing ceremony of the 2024 edition of the Regional Climate Outlook Forum for West Africa and the Sahel. In a closing remark, the minister assured that the federal government would deploy the citizens. Specifically, he said the government will continue to take seriously the issuance of disaster early warnings for its citizenry to de-risk sectional activities and avert losses. Following the U.S. observation reports, analysts have stated that 2023 polls across the country was a reflection of Nigerian populace and there were no restrictions or punishment on the individuals or groups involved in the electoral irregularities. Speaking at Atlantic Television Politics, a political analyst, Andy Abotive, stated that the United States observation report was impartial and obvious, as it were.
Did they tell you the elections were free, fair, and credible? In anywhere in that story, did you see that they said, oh, the elections were free, fair, and credible? They even told you that there were places where there were certain infractions and they never arrested or prosecuted those people. They explained those things. You know what they were trying to tell you? That these elections are a reflection of the Nigerian people. Yes, I agree, because if it were not, the Nigerian people would have resisted it. They did tell.
Recall that the opposition Labour Party and People's Democratic Party yesterday expressed shock over how the United States 2023 country report on human rights practices arrived at its conclusion that the 2023 polls reflected the will of Nigerians despite well-spread irregularities. Nigerian Education Loan Fund has urged students to exercise caution and verify the legitimacy of any website or service claiming to represent the organization. This is contained in a statement issued by Abuja on Friday by the NEL Fund's head of media and public relations, Nasir Ayatogo. Ayatogo urged anyone affected by the scam to report it immediately to relevant authorities. He added that the official channel for student loan application will be open to the public in due course. Is www.nelf.gov.ng. NEL Fund has said no fewer than 1.2 million Nigerian students in tertiary institutions and government-recognized skill acquisition centers will be among the first batch of beneficiaries. Trade Union Congress of Nigerian President Festus Osifo has said that the much-awaited new minimum wage may not be announced on May 1st. Osifo, who stated this while speaking with the newsmen on Friday in Abuja, said that the 615,000 demanded by the organized labor is not sacrosanct. He also noted that before organized labor arrived at that amount, a proper study was conducted. The 37-member tripartite committee on minimum wage set up by the federal government to continue further negotiations and consultations on the new minimum wage. The National Minimum Wage Committee is chaired by former head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Bukar Aji, with other members drawn from the federal government and state government, the private sector, as well as organized labor. Dr. John Atn, the Director General, Nigerian Copyright Commission, says the federal government is taking steps to finalize its national intellectual property policy and strategy for the country. Atn disclosed this on Friday while commemorating with 2024 World Intellectual Property Day with the theme IP and the SDGs, building our common future with innovation and creativity in Abuja. The Director General was represented by the Director of Legal, Mr. Emeka Obona. NCC boss said the policy would serve as a blueprint for a more efficient, modern and responsive legal and administrative framework for the country to leverage on its creative and innovative potential. He said that the day underscored the power of innovation and creativity in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals and shaping a sustainable and inclusive future for humanity. Now, business news. Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria has asked over 28,000 professionals registered under the institute to demonstrate commitments and make valuable contributions to the ongoing reforms in tax and fiscal landscape in the country. CITN President Samuel Abulaye disclosed this during the Institute's 50th induction ceremony held in Lagos, in which 605 new members were inducted as CITN members. Abulaye advised the inductees to project the Institute positively through ethical conduct and strive for excellence at all times. Chairman, Membership and Professional Conduct Committee at CITN, Titilayo Fowokan, said the induction ceremony is a first step towards your becoming an integral part of the Institute, as there are other professional engagement to groom you as you grow in the profession. Now to international tidbits. Two United Nations officials are calling for more international engagement to fight sexual violence against women and girls in the Sudan conflict. Stephanie Dujarric, Chief Spokesperson of the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, said Assistant Secretary General Garcia joined Pamelia Patton, Special Representatives on Sexual Violence in Conflict, to deliver the plea. The duo are urging members to send an unequivocal message, which is under international humanitarian law, to civilians in Sudan. Millions of civilians are especially at risk as they flee conflict areas in search of shelter inside Sudan and in neighboring countries. Human rights officials have reported in Geneva that numerous women and girls have been detained in Iran for failing to heed head covering regulations, and hundreds of businesses have been closed for failing to enforce them. UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Volker Turk said Iran's morality police had announced stricter checks some weeks ago. The move appears to be a crackdown after women increasingly began to ignore the rules following the protest wave in the autumn of 2022. Turk expressed criticism of a draft law that will impose Joe's sentence of 10 years as well as flogging as punishment for failing to heed the rules of covering the hair. He called on Tehran to remove sex-based discrimination and violence. Chinese tech giant ByteDance has said he has no plans to sell TikTok after a new U.S. law put it on a deadline to divest from the hugely popular video platform or have it banned in the U.S. states. U.S. lawmakers had a 9-month deadline on national security grounds, alleging that TikTok can be used by the Chinese government for espionage and propaganda as long as it is owned by ByteDance. The information, a tech-focused U.S. news site, reported that ByteDance was looking at scenarios for selling TikTok without a powerful secret algorithm that recommends videos to its more than 1 billion users around the world. ByteDance denied it was considering a sale. Germany's ambassador to Belgium, Patricia Flohr, has been summoned to China's foreign ministry following the arrest of several suspected Chinese spies. Writing on her X handle, Flohr said she was summoned after 4 Germans were arrested this week for allegedly spying for Chinese secret services. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Wenbing confirmed the summons, saying China denies any involvement and is calling on German government to refrain from damaging bilateral ties, adding that the allegations were completely without foundation. Flohr said she used the summons as an opportunity to remind China's government that Germany would protect its democracy and that any investigation would be carried out without political interference. Now, entertainment news. Strong indication emerged that Lagos State government has received the toxicology test conducted to determine the cause of death of late music star Iloruluwa Oloba, popularly known as Mohbad, and submitted it to the police authorities for further action. Recall that Mohbad died at the age of 27 on September 12, 2023, with circumstances surrounding his death sparking controversies on social media. The toxicology test was conducted in the United States of America. A state government source who is conversant with the case and preferred anonymity said the test result was sent to the State DNA and Forensic Center last week. Guinness World Records has revealed on Friday the Ghanaian activist Abubakar Tahiru has set a world record for hugging a total of 1,123 trees. The feat was made known in an Instagram post that showed Tahiru physically hugging the trees. According to the post, Abubakar grew up in a farming country in Tapa, Ghana, where he developed a keen interest in nature and its conservation. He disclosed that the hardest part of the record attempt was having to move quickly between trees while ensuring that each hug met the required standards. Abubakar Tahiru now joins an ever-growing list of world record holders that includes Nigerians. Some Nigerians who recently joined the list are Hilda Basi, Rema, and Tunde Onokaya. Here now is ATN Sport News. Premier League Chief Executive Richard Masters on Friday revealed the case against Manchester City for alleged financial breaches will be resolved in the near future. City are bidding to win a 4th successive Premier League title this season, which will be their second triumph in the competition since being hit with 115 charges of breaching financial rules in February 2023. The allegations related to the city's conduct in 9 seasons, starting in 2009 until 2018, when the Premier League opened an investigation into the club. Asked on Friday whether another City title success, the charges remain unresolved, will damage the credibility of European football. Massa said it is not for the football authorities to start being selective about who they would like to win the league. Second place City are 1 point behind leaders Arsenal, but they have a game in hand and will clinch the title if they win their last 5 matches. And that's the global news for tonight. Before we go, another look at the major stories. Football Commission's Navy Training HQ. Gombe suspends Motley's sanitation over LG pools. Workers trapped as building collapses in Kano. Tinubu appoints Ovia as Nelfon chairman. China denies involvement in spy cases. Veteran Yoruba actor Ogunjimi is dead. Arteta wants Arsenal to raise the bar. I am Wendy Aguma. Thank you for watching and good evening.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring all sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, social economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN. From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains,